Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Daily Red. It is Sunday, the 17th of November, ladies and gentlemen. 1 week. Just hold on that final week until the Reds are back in action and they are playing Southampton at St Mary's. And in between them, there's a little bit more international football. Contract news. We know we're all hoping for that, etc. But here to take you through everything, it's me, Dave Davis, coming to you from a sunny but freezing ass cold Edinburgh. It's that time of the year. The cold snap has hit most of the UK. Feel free to like and comment. Feel free to tell us what it's like near you. But we are going to get into everything for the Reds. And to be fair, ladies and gents, there's only really one place to start because most of the lads are in international action. I think it's 14 are away at the moment, which you're thinking like, that's a big number. Praying they all come back healthy. So let's get into it. Let's see what everyone was up to yesterday. So this one, as you can see, the big handsome bastard himself, Cody Gakpo, there he is. Cody Gakpo scored a penalty as the Netherlands beat Hungary. Now, it's interesting, this one, because if you look at Cody Gakpo's recent form, 2 against Brighton in the Carabao Cup. The equaliser then in the league game at Anfield, that sort of weird cross that Nunes ducks, doesn't he? So, it's a goal still, that's important. He then gets the header against Leverkusen. So that's 4 goals in 3 games. And even with Villa, he only comes on as, I think, for 25 minutes or so for Diaz late on. And he gets a pen last night. So that is 5 goals across kind of his last 5 games. Not kind of, it is, isn't it? Factually. I saw a tweet this morning. I saw it on Blue Sky as well. What more can Cody Gakpo do to get in the team? But isn't it just great at the moment that Cody Gakpo's firing and Luis Diaz is in the form he is? I mean, left wing for me, the strongest options, if you want, within the squad. But so many doing well. But I just wanted to call that out with Cody Gakpo. So this is from the official site. It says, in a good way, no one, well, we'll come to a little bit on this because I probably phrased that badly. But Holland beat Hungary. All our players are okay. Probably saw the sad news that Dominik Szoboszlai was in tears, wasn't he? And you can understand greatly upset. And I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but Hungary's assistant coach had a serious medical incident, didn't he? He was rushed out on a stretcher, but he was sat up unconscious, as Hungary reported, in hospital. But you could see Szoboszlai physically upset, couldn't you? Emotional after the game. So you've no doubt all the relevant people at Anfield will get them around him and make sure they're supporting him. But as it also says there, the positive for that, Gakpo and Gravenberch off 10 minutes from the end. And I'll mention Gravenberch again. So all 4 played in that. VVD and Szoboszlai play most of the game, but 10 minutes respite, if anything, for Gakpo and Gravenberch. And then others, sort of the youth players, Lewis Kumas, what a season he's having at Stoke as well on loan. Did you see that goal the other day? That spin and almost volley scissor kick. I don't know what you call it, but it was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? No 2 ways about it at all. And also good to see some of the youngsters. So Figueroa played there for the USA under-20s. Trey on his under-19 debut. And Trent Kone Doherty. So quite a few of the youngsters there doing the business. But a couple of other things just want to call out from international duty, because if you look at the games yesterday, forget this sometimes, don't we? When we look at Georgia, Mamardashvili played. Yeah, the boy, our boy, on loan at Valencia for the season. He stayed there, didn't he? So that was that, as well as the Holland-Hungary. Now, what's on the docket today? Kind of mentioned this yesterday, but this is quite pivotal as well. England-Ireland. So Queeve, Curtis and Jarell Kwanzaa. Probably thinking starts. 2 out of 3 of those will definitely start, so fingers crossed they're okay. I mean, we all saw Curtis's back heel the other day, didn't we, for the goal against Greece. Absolutely brilliant. So those 2 hopefully coming home all fine. Finland, Greece, that means Simicas, and I mentioned it yesterday. Costa Simic played 64 minutes in Greece's last game, so hopefully it's something similar. And then this one, tell you what, it's a bit of a juicy fixture that again, because they're reversing a lot, aren't they? This Nations League format, which I'm not going to pretend I really care about it, but seems teams play each other all the time, don't they? So Italy, France, a lot of reports in this. Ibou Konate will captain France tonight, which is a massive honour for him and unbelievably deserved for the season he's had. No two ways about it. However, is there a downside to that? Yeah, probably means if he's captain, he's going to play 90 minutes, isn't he? He's a centre-back. You don't tend to change your centre-backs unless you need to. So, yeah, Ibou is set to play a 90-minute game, you'd expect, today. So it is quite important. You're thinking, why am I saying this and, labouring this so much? These are the second round of games for these guys. So, touch wood, everything goes to plan. Curtis, Kwanzaa, Kelleher, Tsimikas, Ibou Konate have finished their international commitments by about 10 o'clock tonight or just before. Okay? So that gives them a week's rest is too strong, you know what I mean? But it gives them more time to come back and have a bit of rest. So fingers crossed again for that one. So yeah, if they could all get sort of a week in between games, if they're going to play against Southampton, I think that is the worst thing in the world. Now, I talked about Mamardashvili, and I don't know if anyone saw it at all, but he makes an unbelievable double save in this draw. I mean, he's a big, handsome bastard, isn't he, for a start? He's absolutely massive. He looks like, it's like Mamardashvili was if Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones had a glow up. That's what you get. You know, if he had like a shave and got stylist in, that's what you get. I actually am dangerously saying this. He might even be more of a handsome bastard than Alisson Mamardashvili, but he's an absolute unit. And watch this double save at the end of the game. See, wanders out, shifts his feet well for a big 6'6". Bang one, bang two. And watch the Khal Drogo roar. There he is. So yeah, an unbelievable double save from Mamardashvili. It's so weird at the moment, isn't it? If you think of the goalkeepers, and a few people tweeted this and mentioned it and put it on Blue Sky, etc. We have had some horrific goalkeepers in our history, recent history, and try not to be disrespectful, but you know the names. I'm not going to start reeling them off. Look at this collection of keepers right now. Alisson, the world's best. Caoimhin Kelleher. I mean, it almost feels wrong to call him a number 2 Kelleher because he's been absolutely brilliant. I mean, he made the penalty save for Ireland the other day as well, didn't he? Absolutely amazing. I mean, why other teams aren't looking at him? They are now. They might just have finally woken up to him, and he'll only have a year left to go in the summer. But again, absolutely brilliant. Then you've got Yaros, who's been very, very keen. He is third, well behind those two, but still looks a talented keeper. And then the 6'6" Georgian Khal Drogo is set to come in this summer as well. I mean, you saw those save. Just in case you come into it late, let me play it for you again, people. So this is the double save he makes on, or late on, for Georgia against Ukraine. Bang one. Look at that. Bang two. Moves his feet, shifts well for a big 6'6", and look at that happiness. Yeah. So that kept it a 1-1, as it says there, for Georgia. Again, feel free to like, feel free to comment what you think of the goalkeeper situation, because I might just come back to that in the near future as well. Let's have a look at everything that is going on the website and the latest stories on AI. So a couple I'm going to delve into. Zubimendi actually speaks. I mean, that link just goes on and on, doesn't it? That him to us, City have been linked in the recent weeks. Arsenal mentioned again. So that's one. So what does he say in this article? He kind of mentions I'm aware of it, I'm dealing with it. My is on Sociedad. So worth a read of that, people, just for a few of his quotes. The one thing I would say is that I took from that article, nothing seems imminent. There's nothing that suggests Martin Zubimendi is considering, or even it's anything in anyone's like Sociedad's mindset of a January transfer. So not really expecting too much to happen on that. Ben Doak, I mean, he was sensational the other night. So that is worth the reading. There's a few good points sort of called out in that article. Seeing even suggestions today, Premier League clubs might be looking at Ben Doak on loan for the second half of the season, trying to almost end that Middlesbrough one and get him into the Premier League. What do you reckon to that, people? Ben Doak wasn't used too much at the start of the season. Carrick at Middlesbrough introduced him gradually, and he did a few good things. Now he's one of their sort of, I'd say, main players, I think it's fair to say. He's getting assists back to back for them as well, having a real impact. And from the tweets and the various things on Blue Sky, you can see from Middlesbrough fans, they are desperate for him to stay. It's maybe quite understandable. Is there a few looking at Ben Doak? Is there a few do want to take him in the Premier League? But ultimately, we need to think about us and Ben Doak. Is that the best move for him? Maybe just doing well at Middlesbrough, for me, is the best option. That Ainori Kirkus, that's a little bit that me and Bart's did for Transfer Market Metrics. So worth a read, worth a listen if you want to go back to that. We did it a couple of days ago. And this one's a great piece as well by Mia. So the analysis, Liverpool must be careful with Ryan Gravenberch. I mean, Ryan Gravenberch has been unbelievable this season. And Alan Shearer even called him out, named him of the year, quite rightly at the same time. There's just that niggling feeling that, I mean, look, he's playing every minute pretty much by the last 10 for Holland. He's played every minute for us in the Champions League. He's played every minute in the Premier League. Yeah. Burnout potential options. And I know we'll jump in and say, oh, you could just move us around. Could you? Do you want to drop Curtis deeper when he's having such an impact higher up? Everyone's gone Mac to the 6. And I love Mac, but 6 is not his position. We know this. It's, yeah. I think there's a good few points, so well worth a read on that one. No doubt. And a couple of things as well. So pods out on the YouTube channel. This one, I do love when the boys do this. So a scouted one, it's transfer committee prep. So Dave and Carl starting to look ahead before that committee pod, which I know you all love, to where should Liverpool be targeting. There's an interesting few bits that came up, and you'll see a few articles sort of coming from that, because a few headlines. I mean, Dave even mentioned there that actually, as much as we all adore Trent, and I'll come to Trent later, we want him to stay, could it even be that Trent is the most replaceable in the Arne Slot system because of the way we play, because of the way we set up? So scouted, transfer committee prep, well worth a watch, well worth a listen, however you want to download it. Also as well, me and Bart's, we did the pod, so Transfer Market Metrics, that was episode 5 the other day when we broke down Zubimendi, Tchouaméni, but we also looked, very topically in case you've not listened, at Kirkes and Ainori. And a bit of a spoiler alert early for you, episode 6 should be coming next week with the latest round of targets and links, some attackers on the block from that. So well worth a listen, a watch of both those, however you choose to do it. Now this one, ladies and gents, the latest kit leaks. I'm just going to pause it on the screen because it is almost like the Venus de Milo in modern form. This, ladies and gents, is what the kids refer to as erotic art. Look at that thing of absolute beauty. If it is, we believe it is the latest kit, don't we? So the new one that's doing the rounds, I'm sure you may have seen this video. Just in case you're not, I'll play it for you. But the 3 stripes, the sort of singular collar, but then the white finesse layer with the 3 stripes, the liver bird, standard, just almost as well you can see I don't know if you call it the go faster holes or whatever you want to call them, but it breathes. It'll be called aerodynamic. Who gives a shit? It is fucking amazing, this kit. So let's see it unveiled in all of its beauty. I might even just need to watch this twice, people. Look at this. Imagine for when you get this. Oh, look at that. Even the light layer of cellophane rolled down. It looks incredible, doesn't it? It looks absolutely incredible. And I'm sure you've seen it, no doubts at all. And I'll just get it to my favourite bit, because that bit of the live, look at that. The liver bird on that Adidas kit. We wanted to go back to Adidas. We're going to be back at Adidas. It is absolutely sensational. No two ways about it. And probably like me, or I'm saying, I don't know for definite, but have you seen the other two? Have you seen the other two, the green and the black ones? They just look sensational. I am genuinely, and I'm listening, I'm a grown-ass man and people can say what they want. I don't normally buy the kits, to be honest, but you know, it is what it is. I do like the look of these three. I think Adidas are going to bring us right back in business. So fingers crossed for that one. And the only other point, and let me almost chat through this. Now, I'd love people to genuinely get your take on this. The contract situation is rumbling on. Everyone knows about the big three. Everyone's got their thoughts on the big three as well. Funnily enough, Mo Salah is that stressed at the moment. He's in Disneyland Paris, where it looks like him and his family are on the rides. His daughters are having the Disney princess experience, whatever you call it. Who cares? That's how stressed Mo Salah is. He's having a knockout time at Disneyland Paris, so fair play to him. Trent seems to be the talking point. So I scroll through, like just this morning even, because that's obviously what we do with Daily Red, trying to bring you the stuff that's coming up. Trent getting very mixed reactions. That, and listen, I'm not saying I know, probably no one really knows, bar those ultimately close to the deal. But a lot of people starting to fear that this could be it for Trent. You can see that comment below, or that question below. What does Trent owe us? This really seems to be the latest thing to set the fan base in furore. It'd be fascinating to know what your thoughts on this, ladies and gents, are. What does Trent owe us, if anything? Because I'm seeing some comments saying, no, he's business. He has a contract. He's seen that. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. You can understand why his head's been turned by Real Madrid. That seems to be one of the thought processes. However, there's quite a few other accounts and different people saying, now we've built this kid. We've helped make him what he is. Like coaching, the man hours, the time, the expertise. And even some suggesting that, well, actually, he could sign a new deal and then still move and we get a transfer fee for him. So he's not really showing the loyalty by doing it this way. What do you reckon? Number one, we don't know what's happening with Trent. Let's just be clear on that. No one knows exactly what's happening with any of these big three at the moment. It would be unbelievable. And I've said this before, but you know it's true. It would be absolutely brilliant if we could just get one of these done during the international break, wouldn't it? It would just be that massive boom for a massive week. Because let's be honest, it is absolutely ginormous what's coming up. Southampton is almost the appetizer for the main courses of Real Madrid and Manchester City. So if you took a contract renewal into that, it is absolutely sensational. Carlisle saying, I think Trent is asking for too much money. That's what's holding it up. Could be possible. Genuinely, I don't know. And we do our normal asking around here, people at Anfield Index. There are quite a few various journalists and people on. So we've had David Lynch, as you know, we had Paul Joyce the other night saying no one really knows exactly what's happening except those close to negotiation. People talk about length, and Trent's the one I've seen where people are suggesting that he wants the club to show ambition, which is difficult to put something quantifiable, like what's tangible by that. Is it that the other two have to sign? I don't really know. But yeah, That's an interesting question to think about, people, at the moment. What does Trent owe us? And it's one I will be putting to David Lynch tomorrow on Media Matters. So, sort of finishes off on this one. What is coming up during this week? Well, we've got Media Matters tomorrow. Again, we've got Scouted Out, so well worth a listen with Dave and Carl and their prep for the transfer committee. We'll also have episode 6 of Transfer Market Metrics. So that will be coming up. Me and Bart's previewing other targets ahead of the January window, giving you the stats, giving you the full quantifiable breakdown on those targets. There'll also be Daily Red as normal with Dave every day. And then before you know it, ladies and gents, it'll be Friday and we'll be in that run. We'll be in post-conference presser. We'll be on the Daily Red. We will be doing Raw on the Sunday after the game. One last week to hold on. And I think that's important to say because, bugger me, there's been too many international breaks already. But in the best way, this is the last one for a hella long period. There's a lot of games where maybe that isn't a good thing as it comes to it. Who knows? But it's more exciting watching the Reds each week than internationals in it. And as I'm saying this, I get some of you maybe in different countries are really passionate about watching them play and like the players, fair play to them. They all seem so passionate about playing for their countries, don't they? International football, is not for me at all. It's not something that interests me. But it is only a week, as we say, till that Southampton game. 2:00 at St Mary's. This week coming, we have got content for you galore. We've got various things coming up. But there you go, ladies and gents. End weekend. Enjoy what's left of the international break. But on Sunday, the 17th of November, with 1 week to go before the Reds are back in action, that was another Daily Red for Anfield Index.